So I do have a question about like the second coming of Jesus, because we have among Muslims an opinion that it's not the same Jesus, it's another man, or it's just a term like that. But I guess that's not the topic. The topic is about Dajjal.
No, it's not. Even if some people think that, because there is link to Dajjal, because that is going to add to the fitna of Dajjal. Those are the people who will be like, no, there is no second coming of Jesus. So when Jesus is going to come in, they will be like, both are the same for us, man. You're also as wrong as the first one.
Yeah.
So it's a bigger fitna. Us not believing in Dajjal as Isa or the Lord is as much of a fitna as when Isa is going to come in and be like, no, you're not Isa. So this is a problem. It's a big problem. That's helplessness as you speak.
Yeah.
How are we going to determine? So we will have to see both of them together. And the hadith says as soon as the Dajjal is going to see Isa alayhi salam, from his breath and from his sight, the Dajjal is going to start to melt. So he doesn't even have to kill him. Just has to be there and the Dajjal is going to die.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
this is what
that's a lot like a comic, mythical kind of concept that he's going to melt and stuff.
We'll talk about that in we'll talk about
Because
it.
I believe there's a science behind everything that happens, so it's better we understand it in a better psychological and scientific manner. Okay, my next question is going to be, what have we been given to fight against this fitna, the fitna of Dajjal, as Muslims?
Legs. That's the only thing we've been given. Because the Prophet said, do not fight. You cannot fight. Only a prophet is going to come in, and if it were in my time, I would have killed him.
Yeah.
But since he's going to come in the time of Isa alayhi salam, only he is going to kill him.
Yeah.
And anybody who starts to, become over efficient and tries to play smart against the Dajjal is the first guy is going to, go to fall for the deception.
Yeah.
So legs, flee. That's a direct order from the Prophet ﷺ. So it's not even up for debate.
Subhanallah, yeah.
The biggest believers will not be like trying to save people from the deception of the Dajjal.
Wow.
As soon as they're going to find out, the right believers will be like, grab everybody you can and just run.
That's actually really hard to even imagine. Leaving your family in the deception.
We started with helplessness.
Yeah. And then we know that there's a special importance given to Surah Al-Kahf for the fitna of Dajjal.
Yeah. Well, it's not special. That's the only tool that we have.
Yeah.
That's the only silver bullet for this werewolf.
Besides having legs,
Yeah, but let's connect the legs and fleeing and going to the mountains with Surah Kahf. But Surah Kahf is a later part of how we are supposed to construct our psychology against the Dajjal.
Okay.
The first thing about Surah Kahf is that the surah is a part of 3 surahs. It's in a group, it's like a constellation.
Yeah.
Those 3 stars are shining really bright, and the Prophet said to al-Mu'mineen that Surah Isra, Surah Kahf, and Surah Maryam. He put his fingers together and said, these are the 3 great surahs. So we have to look at Surah Kahf, and by using this hadith as a very clear indication of how to construct our psychology around Surah Kahf. Otherwise, Surah Kahf is I'll tell you why let me just finish this verse. If you do not understand Surah Bani Israel or Surah Isra, you won't be able to understand Surah Kahf really well, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are no accidents in the greater schema of Allah ta'ala. Allah ta'ala does not do anything by chance. Everything is by design, especially the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran. So when the Prophet said, look at these surahs together, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put Surah Bani Israel before Surah Kahf, so there's a reason behind this, and we can see it so well. It's speaking to us. Surah Bani Israel directs towards Surah Kahf so much that even a blind man can see that there's a reason why it is placed right before Surah Kahf, and it is creating a certain psychology of the human Muslims who are going to, and jinns of course, and who are going to try and understand Surah Kahf. And if they start with Surah Kahf, they will never understand. That's what the Ummah is going through, because they start with Surah Kahf and there's nothing about the Jal in there.
Yeah, because all we know is that just read the 10 ayah of the, these are the words of the hadith. Read like one who keeps on reading the first 10 ayahs of the Surah Kahf every Friday is going to be saved from the fitna of the Jal. So how can just
that's a preemptive that's a preemptive medicine. You know, that one meaning can be taken as, if I start reading Surah Kahf's first 10 ayah every day, I'm delaying the time of the Jal. Or maybe I'm asking for my death before the Jal. That's also a prayer, by the way. That I don't want to be in that time, because that's a short entry to hell. You know, most people are not going to make it in that fitna.
Yeah.
So that first 10 ayah could be a recipe for an earlier death before the Jal can come in. Or pushing it ahead by the prayer, you know, by Surah Kahf's barakah, that Allah Ta'ala is just, you know, delaying the entry of the Jal. It's like Surah Kahf's mechanism, you know, we're just playing Khizr's role here by reciting the first 10 ayahs and try and, you know, play that element of time and just push the Jal timing as far as we can. Because another hadith says that the Jal will only come when Ummah is going to forget even talking about him. You know what I'm saying? So people are not going to be reciting the first 10 ayahs, because we know we only recite the first 10 ayahs of Surah Kahf for the Jal.
Yeah.
So naturally they will not be reciting the first 10 ayahs.
Yeah. But does reciting mean the same, like just reading the words out without understanding?
Because the Prophet said it to the Arabs.
Yeah.
They knew the meaning of the first 10 ayahs.
Yeah.
You know?
And plus the word tilawa means to follow.
Yeah. That's exactly.
But we think tilawa is like to read.
Yeah. Plus Imam Nawawi has given us a very good handle on this. He says there are certain keys in Surah Kahf. Keys which are going to be here for the people who actually have the insight.
You mean keys to open the locks?
Yeah. Certain hints, certain structures inside Surah Kahf which are going to be for the people who can think and ponder over these, and they're going to find it. And he said they're going to find the solution towards what they can do for the times of the Jal, not the Jal. Of course, nobody can do anything but against the Jal.
So before we go to Al-Kahf, you're saying something about the relationship between these three surahs. So how is Bani Israel linked to Al-Kahf? What's special about Bani Israel?
Psychology.
In the context of Al-Kahf.
The psychology of Muslim has to be built over Surah Bani Israel. I think this is the most important surah in terms of the psychological strength of a Muslim in the time of the Jal. And what is the psychology Surah Bani Israel is creating? It is creating a very clear psychology that a Muslim should be casual about believing that time travel is a very normal thing.
Time travel.
Yeah, Surah Bani Israel talks about
Bani Israel, another name is Isra Miraj. It's the night journey and ascension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the surah starts with literally of how Allah Ta'ala is saying that we took our Prophet in the smallest part of the night towards the seven heavens and made him go through all of the journey, and it made him see all of those great signs of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Yeah, but there's a lot of controversy about this travel. You're saying time travel now. I would like you to explain it, expound on it more. But for